A priest has been arrested for playing this game. You'll wonder, how? Why? What did he do? How did he even do that? But there is going to be an explanation very quickly. Now, for those that do understand, this is Candy Crush. How does this game land a priest with a 700,000 rand credit amount stolen from the church? Some things that just don't make sense. But I think let's hear a news bulletin, then we'll come back here.
Pennsylvania Catholic priest is accused of stealing parish funds to play games like Candy Crush. Lawrence Kozak is charged with theft and related crimes. Authorities say he racked up tens of thousands of dollars in expenses over 3 years and used some of that cash to play cell phone games like Pokemon Go. The Archdiocese has placed Kozak on administrative leave.
Yeah. He stole money to play Candy Crush and Pokemon Go and whatnot and stuff like that. But with Candy Crush is that's where the funny part is. Because when you see Candy Crush, the game, you don't even think, why would, because this is all the person is doing when they're playing Candy Crush, right? And so turns out what happens is that sometimes you might run out of lives when you're playing this game. And so some people do that in order so that they can have an extension when they no longer have options, or they buy things inside this game in order for them to stay. So that's what this priest was doing. He kept paying this game so that he could keep playing. Now, there's things that I've seen that are just a bit ridiculous. Like the TikTok versus thing that they do. You know, it's a form of gambling. You think about it. I was once there, and then I was like, oh yeah, okay, it's a game. And then I was playing the game with, I think there was 2 creators that were battling it out. Turned out they were couples. And so I did that, and then the other gentleman was losing against the lady, so I skipped over to the guy to make the... And after a while I'm like, Haibo, I've just spent 400 rands on this thing in one day. It's a form of gambling. And so stopped, cut it off. I'm like, what is this? It's a weird thing. But this is kind of like the same thing. It's just that with Candy Crush, I don't even understand how this priest got himself into this position. But there's an article that actually reads out this particular thing. As a matter of fact, it comes from Complex News. And so I'm going to go over them. Let's read this particular story. Let's read this particular story, as you might actually call it. And so the article, as I mentioned, comes from Complex, right? So it comes from Complex News. And so this is the article. Catholic priest allegedly steals $40,000. That's 700,000. If you were to kind of do the conversions on this money here, that translates to roughly about 700,000 worth of debt from Candy Crush. What? That's ridiculous. Anyways, so from the church money, from these mobile games and others. So that includes as well the other game that they spoke about, which is Pokemon Go. And you skip down to the article, and it says a Pennsylvania priest was arrested last week after allegedly stealing, and he did return some of this money apparently. Okay, allegedly stealing tens of thousands of dollars in church funds to support his gaming habits. Okay, ABC, they tell you which church it is, which parish. Was behind April after discovering he made 2,000 gaming transactions. Okay, 2,000 through Apple Pay. Okay, I'm guessing. The purchases were made in September 20 all the way to 2022. Okay, totaled 200. Oh my goodness. This man made over 4,040,000, which was charged on the credit card that that belonged to the church. So he himself spent the outlets reported most of the purchases went through mobile games like Candy Crush, Mario Kart, and there's a lot of things that can catch you in this life. It's not just gambling. If it's not self-destructive behavior, you could be caught into a lot of things. As it's reportedly told detectives that his purchases did not qualify as gambling. That is gambling. But instead as powering up. Yeah, exactly. It's gambling because it's the high of not wanting to lose. And that's how gambling, that's how you would describe gambling. This is absolutely sad. And also, there is this aspect of denial that he has. Oh my. There's this aspect of denial that he has. But for me, it's how he doesn't see it as gambling, according to what he describes. He didn't see it as gambling. Just like the thing that I was talking about from TikTok with this versus thing that they do. You'd have people betting so that someone doesn't lose. It's a form of gambling. There's a high to it. Yeah, you just want to keep up. That's gambling. And if he doesn't see it as gambling,